Yeah, I think instead of going maybe each individual guy, just the group in general, just love the way they fit. We had some big shoes to fill coming into this off season. So, coming into this summer, I thought getting a chance now to work with the guys over the course of this summer and fall, they really complement each other very well. They do a great job of being great teammates, playing hard, but also the skill set that they bring in different varieties, whether it be some length, some athleticism, some skills, shooting wise. I love what they do for us overall as a group.
Yeah, so along with that, how are you working to build that team chemistry along with getting them fitting into the system you're trying to build?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing when you have a lot of new guys like we have is learning how to win together and what does that look like, and you don't really get to figure that out until you start playing games. But from a chemistry standpoint, I think we have awesome chemistry. The trip to Spain I thought really helped. Timing wise, you get one trip every 4 years. This was a great summer to have that trip fall into our lap the way it did. Get the extra practice time in the summer as well. So from a chemistry standpoint, I love what this group is doing right now. I love the way they compete every day. They have fun with it, and it's going to be fun to watch them grow together on game day as well.
So with all the new transfers, are you going to be looking to go deeper in the bench to get more minutes from the guys that are coming in, as well as get some guys that are coming back?
Yeah, I do think our bench will be really deep. I have a lot of options. It's a great thing as a coach. It also makes things hard as a coach sometimes too. We have a lot of guys that can play, and I feel good about them. Good about them all. I think this is going to be a season where you could see different lineups throughout the year. And in the past 2-3 years, we've been pretty consistent with our starting lineup and rotations. I could see that. Being a little bit more of a variable throughout the season this year, that guys continue to work, guys continue to improve. We don't know yet what they can do on game day in a Drake uniform. So we're going to figure that out as we go and see how they play together. Which group of guys fit best when they're out on the floor together. So I do love the depth, though. I think we have a chance to be as deep a team as we've had since we've been here. Yeah, we're in a pretty good spot right now from an injury standpoint. We've had some tough luck with injuries the last 5 years. Right now, though, I think we're about as healthy as we've been coming into 2 weeks before the season starting. So, love to get to the opener that way as well, and then stay healthy throughout the year. We deserve a year where we can stay relatively healthy from a team standpoint. Yeah, Connor should be in a really good spot. Hopefully within this next week or so, starting to ramp up some of the things he's doing in practice. So I think he's in a good spot there.
After having such an impressive season last year, and now knowing that you're going deep in the bench and flip your lineups a little bit, are you worried that changing all this will kind of hurt your chances, or do you think this will more benefit you in the long run, making it harder for other teams to kind of game plan against you?
I think every year you have graduation. You have now with the transfer portal, you just have a new roster. Even when you have a lot of guys back, even one or two different pieces make it a different team. So every year it's a new team, a new experience. You don't look back at last year and say, well, that's just going to happen again. You have to start over each season. So I'm excited about that. Again, it's for this group is how quickly can they gel together, and how quickly can they learn how to win together, and that's what we're trying to figure out before we get to our opener.
How's the team handling with all the outside high expectations, like getting relatively 8 people and picked to win the conference?
Yeah, the expectations are something we want. I think our guys are motivated by it. They want to live up to those expectations, but as we talk to them about every single day, those expectations come with our own expectations of what that looks like. How do you fulfill those? And it's the way you go about your day-to-day business. And again, that's where as a team we're figuring those things out as we go. I think we've made a lot of improvements from June 6th when we first got together to now, and I expect us to continue to make improvements as we move forward here. Yeah, how do you build off of last year's success? I think the thing for us just as a program is every year you're just trying to do things right every day, and what this group is capable of, we have no idea. And I think every year that is the case. So for us, what we're excited about is the program is growing. From a fan standpoint, I think we have the highest season ticket sales we've ever had in the Knapp Center, which is awesome. I think it says a lot about where our program and the direction it's going. Our job, though, is to continue to build on that and continue to grow, let the excitement continue to grow around our campus and the community. But it's still, the formula is always the same every year in terms of how you're going to try and win, and you can't really deviate much from that. It's the formula is what it is, and if you can do it and do it better than everybody else, it gives you a chance to win on a more consistent basis. Yeah, I think the biggest thing for Tucker is you go for the first 2 years, you have a veteran group, especially with Roman Penn having the ball in his hands a lot these last couple of years. To now he has to become more of not just a scorer, but also a facilitator as well. So, we're putting a lot more on him on the offensive end in terms of what he needs to be able to do to provide offensive opportunities, not only for himself, but to get everybody else involved. So I think he's done a much better job of that, having been put in that position. He's also, the game slowed down a little bit for him. In your third year now, that's just kind of a natural progression, I think, for a lot of players, as you just get to that space where you've played enough basketball now that you know how to get yourself open, you know how to read defenses and those type of things. And I'm excited to see how that growth as will show up on game day for us. Well, we have a lot of them. So again, I just like the group in general. I think with 10 new guys, there's a lot of guys that are going to be out on the floor. And again, I don't want to single out one that's done better than the other, but I like the approach the whole group has taken. I think they're going to come in and have an impact for our team. I mean, there's no question about that, and they have to, because we do have several guys that had played a lot of basketball for us the last few years. So who fills those roles, but fill them in their own way as well. Our team will look different than it did last year, just like every season's different. But I like what this group's upside potential is for sure. Yeah, with Darnell and Tucker being two of the guys that have played the most minutes in our program right now, I think it's going to be critical that they give us that leadership every day. We have to get more out of them on a consistent basis, throughout this season, night in, night out. I think Brody's going to be a huge key to the success of our season. I just think the offseason he's had has been really impressive. His ability now to take over a game in the practices that we've had, I'm really excited about it. I hope he will continue on that trend to finish off where he finished the year last year. I thought he was playing his best basketball in March in the postseason tournaments, obviously the conference tournament, and then in our NCAA tournament game, and he's carried that over throughout the summer. So I think Darnell's going to raise some eyebrows this upcoming season. If he can continue to sustain that, he looks great. He's in incredible shape, which allows him just to do more overall.
How important is it having a guy like Terrence Hurst to your staff? Where do you see his coaching career in 10, 15 years?
Yeah, I'm sure you'd be surprised by this. He's our rebounding coach, but no, it's terrific to have him back. He's been a critical part of our program these last 5 years, and now to have him as a graduate coach for us, I think is awesome for our guys to kind of just be able to bend his ear and kind of him be able to kind of tell about his experiences that he's had, especially with all the new guys that come in, whether they're freshmen or transfers, whatever it may be. But he's doing a tremendous job. He's going to be an unbelievable coach as he continues down this career path. Yeah, do we have an idea on our starting lineup yet? We have some ideas on a few positions. To be honest, we're still working through some of that. And again, how we start the season may not be how we end the season. This is going to be a year where we got to continue to figure out which lineups are the best, which team gets us off to the best start in a half. It may be different than the team that ends the game for us. So we'll continue to look at that and see how that plays out as the season goes on.
Will you plan to lean on Tucker and Darnell Brody more offensively this season as you have last season, or are you kind of going to let these younger guys trial by fire and give them a bigger role as well?
Yeah, we'll certainly lean on Tucker and Darnell on the offensive end. As I mentioned earlier, I think Tucker's points are going to be kind of where we is. We need him to be aggressive there, but it's more of him as continuing to build as a facilitator as well. And then Darnell, just that consistency, I think will show itself. Getting him in double figures every single night, he'll be more of a featured guy for us to get him established down in the lower block area. Yeah, I think it's been a big piece of college basketball, obviously, these last few years. And we've lost a couple players in the portal, but we've also gained some guys through the portal. So, I think it all comes down to fit and what their whatever experience they had, where they were, and how they come in and have an impact for our program. But the portal guys that have transferred in, I think have been terrific for us. I love all of them. They come in, they work hard. But yeah, I think you're seeing now in a year where if this was 5 years ago and you lost Garrett Sturtz and Roman Penn and DJ Wilkins, it'd be hard to replace them with incoming freshmen. Now you're able to kind of balance it out a little bit where we have 4 incoming freshmen and four scholarship players that came through the portal. So now you get that balance of a little bit of experience and but still be able to maintain kind of developing guys from that freshman level.
Where do the strengths of this team lie, like offensive, defensively, and position-wise, whether that be guards or forwards?
Yeah, offensively, I think our strength, I feel like we shoot it better from more positions. I feel like we have a lot of guys that can really stretch the floor this year, maybe even better than we ever have. Defensively, that's the piece that we're probably still trying to really get more connected. Defensively, when you had a lot of guys that have played together for so long, they learn how to play off of one another, especially at the defensive end. I think a lot of times people talk about the offensive end and being able to play together. It's the same thing on the defensive end. And a lot of our success, I felt like the last few years is people talk about our offense, but I feel like defensively is where we've been able to establish ourselves and put ourselves in a good position every night, and that's where we're still trying to get to right now. Yeah, that's a role that DJ Wilkins was one of our best defenders, and a lot of DJ's was because he was so smart at the defensive end. He understood angles. He understood what people were trying to do on the offensive end. We're still trying to figure out which guy that's going to be for us this year. I think we have several guys that can really guard. It's just committing to that, wanting to be that guy. I think sometimes it's just the mindset of identifying yourself and being able to try to play to that every single night. And again, as the season plays out, I'm hoping we'll have 1 or 2 guys that really take on that role, and want to be that defender every single night, that it can be a stopper for us.
Maybe one more question. I think you right there in the black Nike shirt. All right. Yeah.
You mentioned that defense to you is a lot just knowing how to play together. Knowing that you have so many new pieces, are you looking to kind of change your game plan defensively to kind of match that, knowing you don't have a ton of chemistry?
In general, we'll keep the same philosophy. I mean, it's for us. It really comes down. We want our team to be physical and tough on the defensive end, and try to play to that identity. And as we continue to grow, I've seen, from June until now, I think we're starting to take on that identity, and we just got to keep improving on it as we go here.